Welcome to Bill Moore Reacts, where the culture is at. Right now, we're about to dive into some issues with relationships amongst black men and women. And the reason that I think that this divide has gotten greater over the years. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and let's jump right into it.
Why did you end up popping your balloon?
He's cute, but obviously not really my type.
And what makes him not your type?
I like more taller, darker. Why isn't that though? He's good looking. He dresses nice. Just tall and darker.
Okay. And same for you. Is she your type?
Not at all. Her hair too loud.
Her hair is too loud, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how. It's just too loud.
See, this is a shame, right? So, you got a nice looking brother, nice height, got his stuff together, and then you got a sister, I'm not going to dog her out, but she's not that attractive to me. But for her to have such high standards, like this is the issue that we're facing today in the black community. This is horrible.
Okay, I guess.
Oh, go ahead and turn this way. The cameras are that way. Yeah, you're good. Okay, and then apart from the hair, like, that's changeable. And is there anything else? Like,
No, other than that, she alright.
okay.
We got another pop over here. We gotta go talk to them. Too.
Yeah, honey.
This is what I'm trying to get y'all to understand, because I love women, right? And I've saw a transition over the years in mentality. And when I tell you the mentality is so horrible today, it's like it's hard for black men to even coexist with black women when their standards are absurd.
It'll be alright.
Okay. Let's go ahead and let's go right back over here.
Bro, women are so funny, and it's just so interesting how they are. So the two women before the one with the pink hair popped their balloons after he already previously went through the line and they already accepted him. They already said they liked him, but the reason why they popped their balloons is because they didn't like what he said to her. The lady with the pink hair, they ain't got nothing to do with them. He said, I don't like her because her hair is too loud. Basically, they're like, I don't like how you talking to her. I don't like that. That is so funny, bruh. Like, if I was on a show like this and a woman said that, oh, she's attracted to me, and then she goes on to the next person, and then she talks about what she doesn't like about the other guy that's like two people in front of me, I ain't about to pop my balloon because something she said about him that I don't like. Like, what? It's so funny.
Yeah, it's insane, and it's really the real issue that we're having is that we have like a follower mentality in our culture. Even if you look at the hip hop music and how everybody likes to imitate certain artists, it transcends even into the female sector of our culture. That they followers, they want everybody to be liked. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is a 10. Like, it's weird. And it's something that's deeply rooted that we need to point out. And that's all I'm doing. I'm addressing these things because I feel they need to be addressed.
A lot of the time I realize that other cultures kind of get this. I need you to hear me. Other cultures tend to get this. And when I say other cultures, I'm talking about white culture, Indian culture. I'm talking about other cultures other than African Americans. And a lot of the time what happens is you're mistaking the playboy for a husband, and you're trying to marry a playboy instead of marrying a husband. And that's a lot of women don't realize this. A lot of women don't realize this. And this is why you continue to have such horrible dating experiences, because you could be sitting there ignoring the husband material, ignoring the man that is already put you in his forever category. A man will.
That's why the complexities of relationships between black men and black women are so extreme, is because it's so toxic, right? Instead of, like the sister said, instead of looking for the individual that is husband material, they're chasing the playboy. But the reason that they're doing that is because they're not really wifey material, because a wife would realize a husband. And so it's like everybody needs to go in and dissect who they are, need to really, realize what issues you have, and then do your best to correct it. And if not, seek some type of therapy or something if you can't self-correct.
Sleep with you, hang out with you, Netflix and chill with you, and you are not his type at all, but he enjoys the sex, he enjoys your company, he enjoys the fun. And now as a woman, you've put this type of man into the husband material. They looked at the Playboy and said he just wasn't the one, he wasn't faithful, he wasn't ready to settle down. But Rebecca, as a matchmaker, I want you to find me the man who looks like Mr. Playboy, who wants to be loyal and faithful to me and committed to me, and find me my husband, but I want him to look like Mr. Playboy and act like Mr. Playboy.
These are the unrealistic expectations that I'm speaking of. And let me clarify this. I'm not doing these videos to attack black women. That's not my thing, right? My whole thing is I love black women. I love women, black women especially. And so I'm doing this to address these issues because me personally, it's become extremely hard for me to connect with someone spiritually, and intellectually, because, it's so shallow. A lot of people are on the surface and they're not willing to dig deep and really, kind of get some of those deep tissue issues resolved.
And that's when I stopped matchmaking.
How does it feel to be loved by a black woman?
Oh, what a question. I mean, for me, it's something that I always thought that I wanted. But, now that I'm deep inside of it right now, it's something that I realize that I need. The one thing that I realize, as a black man is like, the last thing I want to do after going to war with the world is to be able to go home for round two. You know what I'm saying? In these choppy waters out here, got to be able to go home and have someone understand my struggles, be that calm water for me. You understand what I'm saying? We can learn together, dream together. We got that commonality of, what we go through in life and the culture. And, it's just something that, I can always fall back on to cover me with that love.
I love that.
Shout out to my baby Miracle, you know what I'm saying? Love you, baby.
How does it feel to be loved by a black woman?
Oh, what a question. I mean, for me, it's something that I always thought that I wanted. But, now that I'm deep inside of it right now, it's something that I realize that I need. The one thing that I realize, as a black man is like, the last thing I want to do after going to war with the world is to be able to go home for round two. You know what I'm saying? In these choppy waters out here, got to be able to go home and have someone understand my struggles, be that calm water for me. You understand what I'm saying? We can learn together, dream together. We got that commonality of, what we go through in life and the culture. And, it's just something that, I can always fall back on to cover me with that love.
I love that.
Shout out to my baby Miracle, you know what I'm saying? Love you, baby.
So the reason why I thought this video was important to bring to the forefront and to have a conversation about is because if we look at the broader spectrum of things.
Before we get started, let me just say that this brother is speaking from a place that many of us brothers connect with, in terms of being out here in this world that, a lot of opposition, a lot of obstacles that we got to overcome, and then to come home to a safe place where we could, where there's love and, some type of common ground and spirituality to revive ourselves, to, replenish. And so I totally agree with that, brother. I'm gonna let the sister talk.
Black men are more inclined to be with their natural counterpart. Black men are more inclined to be with a black woman, right? If they had to choose out of a whole bunch of people at once, they would want to choose their counterpart first. But I thought it was very interesting because this comment section was full of women like, oh my gosh, I need me a man like him. Oh, he fine and he love her. Oh, I need this. I need this. I need all of these things. It was all these women who were, fanning over what he was saying about his woman and his experience. But when we look deeper into the conversation, how many women can we look at and see that they are not giving their man any conflict or any problems at home after he already has to face them in the world? Not many. A lot of women are, glorifying what it is that he's saying about his woman, but are not looking at the things that he's saying about his woman. They don't have the same traits that this woman has. He is, strongly saying that his woman is not combative. She's understanding. She is a calm place to land. And when we look at women all over the place, especially our women,
this sister is keeping it a buck. What she's saying, basically, they want a man like that, but they're not being willing to be the woman that he's asking for. How are you going to like the man like that if you're not going to be that individual? It's insane to think that someone would want someone that's not willing to do the work.
They are the complete opposite. If the world was kicking you down 20 times, I'm going to kick you down 25 when you come through the door.
And that's the issue, because at the end of the day, a lot of these sisters end up with good brothers, right? And they're unable to coexist due to, maybe some trauma or upbringing or just the influence of the culture, period. Instagram, reality TV or whatnot. And so, when these brothers end up, knowing their worth and decide that they don't want to deal with it, now they look at all black men as being, dogs and deceitful, when in actuality, we need to own our own issues. We need to take, full accountability in what we do.
If you thought that your job was stressing you out, I'm going to make sure I stress you out even more. If you can do this and go above and beyond for your job title, I'm going to make you go above and beyond for me. I'm not going to give you understanding. I'm not going to give you this. And also, I'm going to continue to always remind you how much I also don't need you. You're a plus. You're an afterthought. I can figure this out even if you wasn't here. I'm doing you a favor by being with you. How come women always focus on the man who is saying things about his woman, but don't look at the traits of that woman and think, do those traits align with me? Most of the time they don't. Those traits do not align with you, not even in the least bit. It's not even close to how you are as a person.
Like delusion is the major issue in our culture. And so there's a lot of delusional women. They don't even see the issues, right? Because they haven't reflected on self. They're so used to projecting, blaming, and trying to ridicule other people instead of accepting their accountability.
When you use the word intimidation, what do you two mean?
Brittany and I were out at a restaurant and there were a group of men there. No one approached us. This was a younger crowd of guys. Nobody approached us. Like, we were just sitting at the bar and we were just like, oh, so nobody's going to come over here and say anything.
Were they looking in your direction or were they not even paying you guys attention?
I'm going to say something controversial.
Okay.
It's a very Dallas thing. Coming from Atlanta, to see so many black men here not be interested in black women, because they were talking.
Oh, they did. So it was other women at the bar.
Rebecca.
So we were walking out and I was like, well, I'm just going to say something to them. So I was like, what are y'all here for? They're like, oh, reunion.
Like dismissed, like I've answered your question. But Rebecca and Claire were getting full engagement, drinks, whole, and this is like a crowd of probably like 10 plus.
Yeah.
So the issue is, so many black men have been rejected by black women and their delusional standards. I want a man that's 6 feet tall, 6-pack, making 6 figures, things of that nature. So, these superficial and black men, we're very smart in the sense to where, it may be a woman that you're not even attracted to and you just want to speak to her kindly, as a sister, and then she looks at you with a smirk as if you're trying to get at her and you're not her type and you're like looking like, damn, I'm just being cool, you know, knowing that she's really not even your type. And so it's insane to be rejected by somebody that should be, you know, close to you. And then not even that, right? Even if somebody is attracted to somebody and the other person isn't, it should be a respect thing still. You know, as black men, you know, we're dealing with obstacles and forces, you know, outside of the home and in this world, you know, stuff that we got to overcome and deal with. And then for the black woman, somebody that has been there for us historically, to move away from us, to be diluted and watered down due to social media, reality TV, and to, you know, to be programmed with this system that divides us, it hurts us. Because see, a lot of us black men are conscious of these things. We're aware of what's happening. And to see these sisters be so naive and feel that they don't need us and not listen to us, and then, you know, head down this path of destruction, it hurts us. But, you know, you get to a point to where there's nothing that you can do. You can't follow somebody into a brick wall. You know, if you know that they're heading into a brick wall, you got to jump out the car.
Mayday, Mayday. Every damn day is a payday. Shorty bad, slay, rockin' Fendi boots and a day. Slay, yeah. She gon' get money like it's payday. Bad bitch, stay rich, only gon' shop at Saks Fifth.